What's up everyone? In this video, we're going to visit chapter 1 of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I feel like our generation, or my generation, is all about that hustle culture. So for example, it's the expectation to work 15 to 16 hours a day or to, be financially independent before turning 25. This hustle culture combined with social media can become really toxic to us. So for me, I feel like success is a successor of happiness. Good decisions come from a calm state of mind. So anyway, enough of my rant, let's get on with it. Charles Bukowski was an alcoholic, gambler, and a cheapskate. He worked at a post office, and every time he received his pay, he would spend it all on booze, women, and gambling. Oftentimes, he would come home, pour himself a glass of booze, and drink alone. After that alcohol had kicked in, he would start hammering away his poetry and then pass out. Overall, his writing was crappy, so he got rejected by so many publishing companies. He kept on getting rejected, so he drank more and got even more depressed. 30 years of his life went by like this, spending most of his money on alcohol, drugs, and prostitutes. Until one day, an editor of a small publishing company pitied him, so the editor decided to give Bukowski a chance. The editor couldn't offer Bukowski much money, but he promised Bukowski that he would have his writing published. So after receiving this offer, Bukowski contemplated that he had two options, which were to continue working at the post office and go insane, or to become a writer and starve. And in the end, Bukowski chose the second option. He wrote back to the editor and then signed the contract. Bukowski only took 3 weeks to write his first novel. It was called The Post Office. He went on and published 6 other novels along with hundreds of his other poems. His writing became very popular and he sold over 2 million copies of his book.
Whoa!
But what Bukowski wrote on his tombstone was very strange. After Bukowski's death, his epitaph read, "Don't try." The main takeaway from this story is that the pursuit of a positive experience will generate a negative experience. It's not that Bukowski tried very hard and persisted with writing. Bukowski knew that he was a loser and he accepted it. He didn't try to become someone else who he wasn't. Bukowski was honest with himself, especially with his worst parts. He was comfortable with himself being a failure. Our culture today is so obsessed with many unrealistic positive expectations. To be happier, to be healthier, to be faster, to be smarter, richer, sexier, and more popular, so on and so on. But all of these things that we hear about are focusing on what we lack. For example, we learn how to make money because we feel like we don't have enough money already. We follow dating advice because we feel like we're not lovable. These expectations are demanding that you give a fuck about more. The consequence of giving way too many fucks is that it's bad for our mental health. There's this theory that a philosopher named Alan Watts used to call the backwards law. It goes like this. The desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but the idea is that the more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you actually become. Because the act of pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack that something in the first place. For example, the more desperately you want to be rich, the poorer you feel. Or the more sexier you want to become, the uglier you come to see yourself. As another philosopher had said it, you will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. So the point is not to try. The backward law also works in reverse. So I'll put it this way, that if pursuing the positive is a negative, then pursuing the negative generates the positive. To quote a few examples, the pain you pursue in the gym results in better all-around health. The failures in business are what lead to better understanding of what's necessary to be successful. Being open to your insecurities paradoxically makes you more confident and charismatic around others. And that's it for this video, guys. There's actually a lot more deep philosophy stuff going on in this chapter. So yeah, grab yourself a copy of this book and I'll see you guys in the next video.